Hello and welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. This is a showcase video for my Skaven March to War army for 2015. So as we can see already up is Potg. He's the lord of this army, weighing in at 395 points. Love this model. It's like a Iron Man version of Skaven, completely encased in sort of an armoured suit of his own making. Probably powered by a warpstone heart, who knows. He's literally the Iron Rat. But very cool, I do like this model. I've had it for ages, been needing to paint it. This is actually a metal version, that's how long I've had this. On the base I've also used a little bit of warpstone from the basing kit as well. It can be used for Necrons, but I used it for warpstone. So he's my lord, he's the guy that's going to be leading this this army, and the rest of the army is his entourage, part of Clan Skyrim, Clan Moors kind of mixed, all under his command. So we'll move on now to his two underlings. Okay, so what we have here are two warlocks. These are the other two characters in this army, both heroes obviously, weighing at a mighty 15 points each, but they're also both upgraded to level 1 wizards. And one of them has been given a warlock optics and a musket, and the other one's been given the warp energy condenser to help him cast warp lightning. But these are basically sort of apprentices of Potg. These guys will be following him around, leading the units that are coming up next. But that is basically my character selection for this army. Not a lot of characters, and initially when I went into this it was going to be character heavy, but the more and more things I wanted to put in the Skaven army, the more and more characters I had to take out. So I'm just left with these two and Potg himself. So we shall now move on to the Clan Rats, which is the first core unit for the army. Okay, so this is the first and largest of the Clan Rat units. Hopefully the camera's getting that well. As you can see, this is a unit of actually 50 models. There's 49, actually not 50. In the army list, but I painted 50 because I might want to use them just as a unit. All armed with spears and shields. And Potg will be leading these himself into battle. Alongside these will be a rattling gun. I'll show you the rattling guns at the end. But there'll be a rattling gun trundling alongside this one. It took a little while to paint this because it's a big unit, but I painted them all together exactly at the same time in a very sort of line processing way. There we go. Again, you'll see a little bit of warpstone here and there. I did use quite a lot of the textured basing, and I also used it along the movement tray as well at the start on. And I just used the movement tray using the standard Games Workshop movement trays that you build yourself to whatever size you want. Quite useful really. So we'll now move on to the next Clan Rat unit. Okay, so the second Clan Rat unit, this Clan Rat unit is actually 20 guys with spears and shields. One of the Warlock Engineers will be leading that, and I don't know if I mentioned the Warlock Engineers cost 90 and 105 points. The first unit you saw weighed in at 320 points, this unit weighs in at 170 points. And so this is obviously a small unit, going to be led by one of the second in commands, if you will. But I like these models at the front. I don't know if you see the standard there. To spend some time painting the standards and putting warpstone symbols on them. But yeah, I had a lot of fun painting this. But we'll move on to the last of the Clan Rat units. So these guys, another unit of 20, which will become 19, I believe. Yep. And these guys weigh at 165 points. No spears for this unit. It's like a slightly cheaper unit, this one. These guys are going to be accompanied by a death flare as opposed to a rattling gun. The other two units will be accompanied by rattling guns. But yeah, again, I've painted all these guys sort of together so they'll be very unified looking. And I used the mixtures of the red technique for painting Blood Angels, and the whites were actually used, I kind of just copied the same technique I used with my Dark Elder, using Rakar Flesh and the pale colour, what's that one? Pallid Witch Flesh, that's it. And they've all been inked with Agrax to give it some depth and stuff, and then just highlighted again with the same colours. And it's turned out pretty well, really. I really enjoy painting them actually, and I've had them for ages and just put them off painting them because they're such a big army. I still have a load more I haven't painted, but these are the guys that are going to form the main army that I've got. So that's my core selections done. I'm rambling on a bit now, so let's move on to the special sections. So we have 2 selections, both the same, 2 units of 5 Potg Jezzails, both with sharpshooters in them. And these are the old metal ones, I had for ages. You may have seen them in a previous video, I don't remember whether they got a good showing or not, they were just on this sort of side of it. They were all painted up in really old colours and I didn't like them, they were green and red, so I stripped them down and rebased them and repainted them. So we've got the same colours as the rest of the army. It's mainly red on these guys, more Skyrim influence than anything. Some little warpstone things going on the bases. And the brass, I've also used verdigris on the brass using is it the oxide paint. There's a few little stalactites, I don't know if you see them on the, or is it stalagmites? Stalactites hang down, yes, and stalagmites go up on the bases here and there just to give it the underground sort of feel that I'm going for with this army. So these are the first 2 special selections, there's one more left, we shall move on to that now. But both these units cost 110 points. So here we have 5 Poisoned Wind Globlobbers, there they are, or Globladiers, or however you say it. It's like sort of very cool models. These are metal ones as well, really old models that I've had for years. They were also stripped down and repainted for this army. And I really enjoy painting these guys again because of the classic models, I think. I've always liked these guys. And I think I've done them a bit more justice than I previously had done as well now. So I'm a lot happier with these guys. So this concludes the special selection. These guys are 55 points for 5 of them. One of them's been upgraded to a Bombardier, I think it is, or something like that. Plus 1 ballistic skill, but that's all he gets. It's only 5 points. So now we shall move on to the rare selections for the army. Okay, so the first rare selection is a Warp Lightning Cannon. There you go. And this is a pretty cool model. I've got some of the old metal ones, but as soon as I released this I bought myself one of these and half painted it and never finished it off, but thankfully now I have. Again, just like the rest of Skaven units, I really enjoy painting it, it's very cool. I love the model. I don't really know what more to say to it than that, I just really like it. I put some warpstone on the front of it and some like undergroundy type bits, just bits of stone, pebble, rock, gravel. That was the word I was looking for. And inside you can see the 2 Skaven crewmen. One of them probably a warlock engineer at the top with his little viewing glass, aiming the thing, and then the other one inside operating the machine. So that's cool, and that comes to 90 points. Kind of works like a cannon that might, you know, blow itself up, like most cannons though. But this is even a bit more mental. So I'm going to look forward to actually using this on the battlefield. Perhaps killing myself doing it. So we'll move on to the next selection now, one you'll have seen before. It's the Storm Friends. Okay, Fiends, fair enough. I like to call them Storm Friends. You may have seen these before if you've seen my previous showcase video of these guys. But this unit consists of 3 of them, 2 with rattling guns and 1 with more globe throwing goodness going on. I do love these models, I think they're really good. They just remind me of Skaven Adeptus Mechanicus to me, it was ace. And you see little guys with the brains on the back, still saying Quaid, Cool, so this is the second rare choice for the army. They weigh in at 255 points, for 3 of them, 85 points each, regardless of what weapons they've got. So now we should move on to the final rare selection for the army and the last piece of the army. And here we have the Doom Wheel, which is one of my all-time favourite models actually, because it is that crazy and that Skaven-y. And I have 2 of these actually, so this is one of them, fully painted here. But there's only one in this army. It totals up to 150 points. And I just really like the idea of the Skaven in the little wheel. I just think it really suits them, and then crushing all their enemies and electrocuting all their friends as it rides along. And then they've got a little guy in the middle there, you can see he's kind of intent on driving this thing. So very cool. So that is the army. It consists of 2015 points for 2015 March to War. We shall move on now and I'll show you the whole army and some extras that I've done. In fact, before we go, I shall show you a couple of extra models that aren't part of the army but I painted alongside them, which I quite like. We shall start with an abomination, so I'll move on. So I've always liked this model because it's horrible and hideous. And he's been sat around unpainted for a long time, but now I've had a resurgence of Skaven, I said I was going to paint him as well. And I'm really happy with the way he's turned out. He's just still as hideous and horrible as I imagined he would be. And I think he's a very cool model. Utterly terrifying. And if you've read Thanquol, these were the things that dragged themselves into the dwarf hold and well, basically poisoned all the dwarves in the hold because they were filled with Skyer technology, much like this one is. You see there's like a drill bit coming out of its mouth and everything. I particularly like this bit at the top where you've got all the rats' faces coming out because it's kind of like growing, undulating as it's going along. So that is the first of the two models I'm going to show you, which aren't actually in the army but painted alongside. The next is the Vermin Lord from Forge World. You may have seen this on a previous video. He was only undercoated, as he has been for many years. I have had this guy for ages. But I thought since I've got him downstairs for the Vermin Lord video and since I'm painting Skaven, I thought I'd give it a go, and I'm very happy with the way he's turned out. And even though he's not as imposing as he used to be now compared to the new Vermin Lord model in plastic, but I still think he's very cool. And he's got a lot of warpstone stuck in his face that you can see just coming around now on the camera. And again, I've used the same sort of things on the base. I've gone for an underground feel. Part of the base is made from leftover bits of the basing part for the movement trays. There was just bits and pieces left over, so I've just used them as tiles, and I've covered it in bits of stone and rock again, just like the rest of the bases. Bits of grit and gravel, and then we've plonked a big crystal on there to represent some warpstone. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that myself. But I still think it's a very cool model, even compared to the new Vermin Lord. I'm glad I've painted him because he's been hanging around for absolutely ages. So what we'll do now, we shall move on to the whole army. You'll see it all arrayed together, get a feel for it, including some models which I've painted. I'll put Thanquol on there as well, so you can see everything I've got for the Skaven, in fact. So we shall move on to that now. Okay, so here's my March to War army, 2015 points. You know, it's menacing glory. Did forget to actually show the weapons teams. There's one of them, it's a Rattling gun attached to that unit. That's the Rattling gun attached to the big unit. And then we've got the Death Flare, which is such a cool model. It's like a Skaven version of the Dwarf Death Roller from Blood Bowl. But it's such a cool model. So I had to have it in the army. Costs the same as a Rattling gun. It was a difficult choice because we're just going to go for 3 Rattling guns. But there we go. That is the March to War army. Finished, done. All in time for the end of March, so I'm in. You know, I've completed my own challenge, which is cool. My next challenge will probably be to do the Dwarf army, to fight it. None of my dwarves are painted, and that should be fun. But I shall also show you now all the Skaven that I've painted so far, which is about 60% of all the Skaven that I've got. And there we go. So this is all the Skaven stuff that I've painted in the last couple of months, which is what I've been up to mainly, painting all this stuff. You'll have seen Thanquol in the back, and you'll have seen the Vermin Lord if you've watched their videos when I did their showcases. And I've got a lot of weapons teams here, so I can switch between weapons teams if I want. Got 2 of them guys, like so. And I have 2 of these guys from my 100 blood set as well, with the warp fire throwers. I've even got an old metal one. There he is. Repainted him as well. Some of these old metal models for the Skaven are absolutely gorgeous models, actually. I was really surprised when I revisited them and repainted them how much different they looked. Both my painting skills have increased a lot since I painted them originally, because they were quite poorly painted, and how nice the models still are. even compared to today's standards. So I was quite happy to repaint them as well. I've also got the Island of Blood guy here. There he is, and a little conversion of a warlock with massive optics and a musket and a doom rocket, which was a bit of a conversion I did just because I was mental. I had a spare warlock who was the same as this guy. I wanted him to look a bit different, so there you go. It's turned out not too bad actually. I think it's pretty cool, it's pretty funny, just like the rest of the Skaven now. But so this is about, well, I'd probably say it's about 60 to 70% of my collection. I do have a Screaming Bell and some other stuff that I haven't painted yet. I might take a little bit of a break from Skaven after doing this lot and do something else, just for a bit of a change. I also have a load of infantry models from Island of Blood sets that I got, and from some of the Skaven sets. Got Queek Head Taker and some, what do you call them? Storm Vermins as well. But yeah, I'd say this is about 60 to 70% of my army done, and certainly enough to have options and to have a very good standing army and everything in fight. So I'm quite happy with this. Even if the days of Warhammer are coming to an end, I'm still quite happy that for the end times I've finally got a fully painted Skaven army again.
And you can stop saying squeak.
I can't, not until I finish them all. Then I'll stop saying squeak.
It's kind of worrying me now.
It's not a horned rat, it's just, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you're a sport of Archeon, so you know.
Archeon!
There you go.
Bye.
So I hope you've enjoyed this showcase video, before we ramble on even more. What I'm doing now, I'm probably going to go and do some dwarves and Dark Elder. Need to finish that army off. As I said, I want to paint some dwarves to fight these guys, and if you're interested in seeing them, please let me know. I might do that anyway, but if you're interested in a battle between them, let me know. Also, what else are we doing? What are you doing?
I'm doing my Bloodthirster. I'm hoping to start in this weekend.
You're wanting to paint the Bloodthirster?
Yeah, I have
if you've seen their unboxing video, it's Claire's Bloodthirster.
My Bloodthirster.
And you've been painting racks, like you
I've
say.
been painting racks, but I think I might have a rest from that and really have a good crack at the Bloodthirster.
Cool. That's awesome. So Harlequins are sort of on the back bench at the moment. We will get around to them eventually, but there's other armies I want to finish off first. Dark Elder specifically in my case, for 40k. And the Dwarves for Warhammer, before the end times comes and wipes it all out. I want to have at least 2 standing armies that can fight off in the battles of history, which will be fun stuff, like. Okay. And we've got Malifaux stuff as well. We've got some more unboxing videos coming up.
We will have, yeah.
And then also some painting videos if we get around to it soon. Hoping to do that soon. Also hoping to play out the Shield of Bal campaign.
Yes, because all our models are painted for that now.
So hoping to show you that. It's just getting the free time to do it.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll have some soon and we'll be able to get that up. And on the gaming front, I've been playing Besieged, if you've not seen that.
Yes.
That was an awesome little game for $4.99.
Yeah, it's
We're loving
really cool.
it.
It's really cool.
We might put some more videos of that up.
Yeah.
And also playing Skylines, City Skylines, which, because I like the original SimCities up to 4, it's really good. So you'll see a video of that coming up very soon, if it's not up already, depends what order I put these videos up in. But I'm doing a short series on that, and we'll see how that goes. And please watch it if you get the time. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's great, it helps us out loads if you can do that. And I'll stop begging for these subscriptions now, and I shall say have a good day, whatever you're doing right now. And great, hope to see you soon. This is Pantheon of the Geeks signing off. I'm Paul.
I'm Claire.
See you later, guys.
Bye.